Hi, it's Dan again with D&D Thorough Home Inspections, and today we're going to spend some time talking about decks. We're going to take a look at some defects on the platform, we're going to look at the stairs, and we'll also take a look underneath at the ledger board and some of the other components underneath the deck. So starting out on top of the deck, the first thing we'll look at is the height of the deck. Any deck that is 24 inches or more above the ground requires perimeter railing. Now they want that railing to be at least 36 inches high. The next thing we'll take a look at is that top rail. We'll make sure it's not split and it's secure in there. Then we'll move down to the balusters, and they say you don't want a 4-inch ball or a 4-inch sphere to be able to fit through there, and that's just in reference to little ones. If you've got a little one and you got a big old gap in there, they could potentially get their head stuck in there or even fall through. So another thing we see with the balusters is sometimes you've got those wooden balusters in there that are just secured by simply a nail up at top and bottom. Those really don't take a whole lot to be knocked out. You could have some kids playing around on the deck, slip and fall. They could bust a couple out and potentially fall through. So that's something else we'll take a look at. The final thing that we see a lot is excessive rot on the deck, and we'll always write that up as well. So give me a second, we'll go down to the stairs and we'll take a look at those. Now looking at these stairs, one of the most common things we see with the stairs is open risers. And what I mean by that is if you look at these stairs, let's say like this board here, all those boards were missing. That leaves a big old gap there that little ones potentially crawling up there could fall through. Another thing that we look for is uneven risers. If you've got one that's 10 inches, another one that's 12 inches, and then another one that's 14 inches, that's a bunch of different heights, and it's hard to get your footing right, creating a potential tripping hazard. Then another thing we look at, again, is the balusters, back to that 4-inch sphere rule, and then the handrail. If you're walking up the stairs and you trip and fall, there needs to be a graspable handrail there. You can't have just like a 2x6 sideways here. You're not really going to be able to grasp that and brace yourself. So those are some of the things we look for as far as your stairs go. Now, when under the deck, one of the first things we like to take a look at is the ledger board. And that's the board behind me, the main board secured to the house. We want to check and make sure that it's fastened in either one of two ways, either with 1/2-inch lag screws or 1/2-inch machine bolts with washers on them. We don't want to see that just nailed to the siding of the house or simply with just a couple nails in it. It needs to be securely fastened. There's a lot of weight on a deck. So moving on from that, the next thing that we will take a look at are the posts. Now these here are buried. Sometimes you'll see them in what they call deck blocks. You just want to make sure that they're secured and not simply sitting on the ground. So moving up from that, we've got the beam sitting on the post. Now as you can see here, they've got the appropriate bracket here, but the hardware is missing. There's no fasteners in that bracket, and same with some of the other ones, there's no fasteners in them. So you want to make sure that all the hardware are in the brackets. So moving up from that, we've got the joists. We're looking at the joists. We want to make sure that they are in the appropriate joist hangers. We want to make sure that the hanger is not too small for that joist. And then finally, that all the hardware are in those hangers. So we'll take a look at all these and make sure that's all correct. And then while you're under the deck, it's also another good opportunity to check and make sure that there's not a lot of rot anywhere under that deck. So that pretty much does it for the deck inspection. I hope you guys enjoyed this video or at least learned something from it. And if you could take the time to like, share, and subscribe to these videos, we'd greatly appreciate it. Thanks. Have a great day.